This is the AWS Developers Podcast. We are talking about the data platform built around Data Zone and Amazon Sagemaker Unified Studio. We'll explain all that in a moment. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for listening to the AWS Developers Podcast. We are available in all good podcast applications every Friday morning. Please subscribe so you receive the new episode. And we are recording this episode in a very special place. We are in the podcast studio at the AWS Summit Bangalore in English, in India, where I have the chance to interview a couple of the speakers that have a talk here today. Tiffany, thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you.
We're going to talk about data today, and one of the speakers having a talk is Deepali. Deepali, thank you for being here. You have a talk on the community launch. I think you're also creating content, creating AWS cores that you distribute on LinkedIn. That's correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Sebastian. But first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast. I think it's going to be a very interesting experience for me because first time I'm doing this. So
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Don't worry. So what types of courses do you distribute on LinkedIn?
So on LinkedIn Learning, I have created various courses on AWS and AI. So mainly around data engineering, DevOps, Bedrock. So these are the primary subjects, and on the developer certificate.
And your AWS hero, I forgot to mention that. So you're a data specialist working in a fintech. So it's in that context of the fintech, in your job, that you had to create a data lake. Is it the correct word? A data platform for your customer. So what was the business challenge you were trying to solve for your internal customers?
Okay, so actually I'm into this data world from past 20 years. In my entire IT experience, I have worked on, So I have worked on data intensive applications. So I have seen all those phases of data and all those struggles we are facing, the industry is facing from decades.
So you went through the different phases like big data, Hadoop, EMR clusters, Spark, and all the evolution up to AI now?
Yeah, even before that, those Oracle databases, and also, it's legacy to modern.
I installed my first Oracle database with a set of floppy disk, floppy disk.
Oracle 7, that was the version I started with.
Good memories. So let's go back to the business, okay. Aisha, where you work. What was the challenge? What is the challenge?
Okay, so business always has vision that, because data is always at the heart of innovation. And business always has vision that we need to be truly data-driven so that we can create, we can make the business strategy. Yeah, so in order to define the future strategy, we need to have right data that should be accessible at the right time. So that's where most of the businesses, most of the organization, because when I come to these conferences, I talk with various other company, various other data leaders. So everyone has a similar vision that yes, we need to make data we need to make our business purely data driven. But since the vision is clear that they want to treat data as a strategic asset, not just scattered resource across systems, but reality is pretty far from this vision.
So the reality is silos of data across different, you mentioned database, you might have multiple database, you might have an S3 bucket. So in your company, just like in many other companies, data are living separately in silos.
Yeah, means data is scattered across various systems. So these can be your legacy systems, Oracle databases, S3 buckets, your shared drives, etc., etc.
SharePoint.
Yeah.
I had bad memories.
Yeah, so when you want this data to be accessible in real time, and getting data from these legacy and scattered systems is a real challenge. So, because you cannot access it directly for sure. So what it led to, that multiple uncontrolled data copies, fragmented tooling, and then inconsistent access controls.
Yeah, that's a challenge too. The security, who has access to what data? And it's silo, you have to repeat security releases or identity.
And you are maintaining different copies of this data. So, and it is becoming outdated because obviously you cannot maintain all the copies. You cannot synchronize it the way you want to. So innovation ultimately slows down. So though you want to innovate, you want to accelerate using AI, but data access is something which slows you down.
Yeah, on one side you have the business unit saying, hey, can you use that new generative AI stuff with our historical data for the last 20 years? And you say, no.
Yeah. So nowadays, like businesses have pressure that they want to create new data products like all the time, sometimes every week or even every day. But what happens? Like data engineers and data scientists, they are stuck in navigating complexity rather than building your data products. So that's the challenge. That was the foundational challenge we have, that data is scattered across systems and it is not easily accessible.
And AWS came to the rescue, or some of the services from AWS came to the rescue. So what's the type of architecture you decide with your team to implement?
So when we started on this journey, when we created the roadmap, so we initially started to address this. We laid the foundation by introducing centralized data lakes, first of all. And so this gave us scalable storage. But then we realized that storage alone wasn't enough.
It's only part of the solution. Yeah. So when you say data lake, it was on S3, like to create a data.
It was on S3 and then powered by lake formation.
And lake formation.
Yeah. Okay. And so since storage wasn't enough, we got all the data together, but still it was not accessible easily because our data scientists, data analysts, they need to access this data using different tools. And so different tools need those integration, they need to access. So we need to integrate these different tools with data lake platform, and then everyone need to access them, request access on them separately. So it wasn't easy. It is still very problematic. So you cannot, because my organization, we had a very ambitious vision that we should be able to create data products in 24 hours.
24 hours?
But it takes more than 2 weeks to get access on one single tool or data asset like that. So you can imagine how long it will take to create a data product. And honestly, it was taking few months
to create an access
data product. To create a data product. So when you need different access, because at times you need to access, let's say, Kafka. You need to get integration with Jupyter Notebook. You need to get integration with Airflow. You need to get integration with GitHub. Because in order to run your pipeline, you need to have all these services integrated. Only you can run the complete pipeline using the CI/CD workflow.
And when you talk about integration, it's not only the access to the data, it's also the security, the authentication, the permissions.
Exactly.
The auditing, maybe the logs.
Yes, everything. So it was the real challenge. So that's where this first step, creating the data lake. So it solved the data problem, it gave us that scalability that yes, we can scale our data storage. But yes, tooling integration, it was still not solved.
Yeah, so storage is only one part of the solution, and S3 is probably the easy part in that type of solution as well, because it's infinite storage or virtually infinite storage. So no more scaling problem, but all the rest, all the other challenge that you mentioned.
And another challenge what we face with data lake, that we know that we have data, but the real consumers who need to access this data, they are not aware where this data exists in data lake or not.
How they are going to discover the data, and even if they know if they exist, what is the format, what data is available? Can I get a sample of the data?
Yeah. So these ground problems were not solved with the data lake. So then we decided, and we brought Data Zone into the picture.
So what is Data Zone?
So Data Zone gave us so we created internal data marketplace using Data Zone. So where people can come in and they can simply, in the catalog, they can discover that what all data are available. They can see the metadata, that who is owning that data, and from which system it is coming, how soon it has been refreshed, what are the different attributes. So it has got all the technical metadata as well as the business metadata available.
It's like an app store for data.
Seriously.
So
that's how we named it Data Marketplace.
Yeah, a marketplace. That's really a good name. So Data Zone, it's an entirely managed service from AWS that allows to create your internal marketplace inside your company. I'm not very familiar with this product, to be honest. So does it provide also tools for the producer of the data to publish a data set?
No, that was the challenge with Data Zone.
Okay.
So So it solved like next part of the problem, that it allowed us to catalog, it allowed us to discover the data, it allows the access and approvals, that governance part. But still, tool integration still it remained the challenge. And that's where SageMaker Unified Studio like came into the picture. It changed the game actually.
So SageMaker Unified Studio is a new offering that has been announced at reInvent 2024, November, December, or first week of December, something like that. Yep. And it was GA since mid-March, I think. High day.
So it's really recent, and you're saying it's changing the game. It means that you've already built solutions with it entirely working.
Rightly said, Tiffany. So yeah. So the moment AWS announced it, we were so enthusiastic, we were so impressed with this offering that we started exploring it. And we released it as a pilot for our users, even when it was not in GA. So we experimented it, we created a marketplace. So though it has everything integrated, data zone. So we were able to reuse all the learnings from data zone. So we implemented that, and as well as we discovered that how it is integrating with various tools and all. And then we gave it as a pilot to our users, and they were liking it like anything.
Wow.
And so we have gone live on 30th April. And so now, so far we are hearing very positive feedback.
Let's go back a bit on your usage of SageMaker Unified Studio. So what are the functionalities you're providing to the user? And maybe let's split the user into the producer of the data. I have a team that produce a weekly usage report, and the consumer of the data. So what are you using SageMaker Unified Studio for? What did you build on it?
Okay, so we are using SageMaker Unified Studio for producer as well as consumers. So consumer of the data can be your data analyst, they can be data scientists who are creating machine learning models. And again, so these consumers are again becoming a producer because they can produce their models, their new data products on the same SageMaker Unified Studio. So everyone is acting as a producer and consumer.
And Data Zone is included into SageMaker Unified Studio as well, or integrated?
So SageMaker Unified Studio, you can consider it as an enhanced version of Data Zone. So Data Zone was V1, so SageMaker Unified Studio is a V2.
That's one way to present.
Yeah. So it is like having the capabilities of traditional SageMaker Studio plus the Data Zone.
Okay, so the two together, and inside SageMaker Studio, we can explore the data set, we can clean up the data, we can transform the data, we can share, we can train a model, a machine learning model or AI model.
Yeah, so SageMaker Unified, SageMaker Studio was focused on creating ML pipelines, while Data Zone was focused on making your centralized data catalog. So now these two capabilities came together, and additionally means on top of that we are getting various tools integration like EMR, Jupyter Lab, notebooks, and we can also plug in third-party federated catalogs as well. So everything you can connect to this Unified Studio, and you can build either your data pipeline, ML pipeline, anything.
So what's the user experience inside your company? They connect to a URL that you give them, and then what? They have to authenticate first, but they don't need an AWS account.
No, they don't need AWS account. They just need one URL. So for which they are authenticated to. Then there are different projects within the Unified Studio. So whatever project they have access to, then they can go to that product, they can go to that project, and then they can discover, they can access whatever is available, they can build new, they can create their custom data products, custom models, and then yes, they can get going and come into this loop again, that when they are happy with their data product or a model, they can publish it again and another teams can use it. So it is like making the reusable ML models and reusable data products across the organization.
And I guess you can organize your teams into personas and give them access to certain types of data. So it makes what I like about SageMaker Unified Studio is that it's making collaboration it's helping making collaboration very easily throughout the company, but also have control over the permissions that what people can access to throughout the data.
Rightly said. So whosoever is working on one project,
Yeah.
so every persona can have access onto that project. All your analysts, scientists, data engineers, everyone can work together in real time on the same project.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of it. So that's where we are really saying that, okay, like when data and AI come together seamlessly, like it is really changing the game.
Yes.
So you start experimenting as soon as AWS announced Sagemaker Unified Studio last year in December. What was the first result that you saw? You said that your users were happy. How many users are we talking about? What was the first experiment that you did with Sagemaker Unified Studio?
Okay, so when we launched it for pilot in sometime in March, so we launched it for 7 different teams from different segments of organizations. So it was like mixed personas were there. There were team who are focusing on like data analysis part. There are data scientists, there are data engineers. So overall, we had like 87 precisely,
Wow.
87 users were there who were experimenting, who are still experimenting with this tool. And so like this was the team size and a lot of good feedback, lot of like positive feedback about it. And yes, I mean, since it is a pretty new offering, there's a lot of scope for enhancement. And we know the AWS roadmap, like they are coming up with some cool features in near future. For example, they are integrating it with QuickSight and all. So it will give us like end-to-end because currently we cannot visualize the reports and all. It is not having the BI capability currently, but it is in the roadmap of AWS and it's going to be available very soon. That's
So what are the things your user likes the most about the new data platform that you implement in your company?
Yeah, so they are liking most that whenever they need to integrate, because few users, they are comfortable with the PySpark. Few users, they are not that techy. So they just want to query the data. So they are very happy about it. Everything is available at single place. So I can really play around. It's my wish whether I want to query with Athena or I want to write my PySpark script. So everything is available at one single place. So it's my wish for what purpose? Because even if I'm a very techie person, I deal with PySpark script all the time. But not all that. If I simply want to see the data, Athena Redshift is right there. So it's just a click away. So they can simply click on it, they can see the data and then they can like enhance or like write their PySpark script. So all the required tools are available. It's just a matter of one single click.
Most of customers that I've met that use Sagemaker Unified Studio, they come from the data science world. Like they used Sagemaker before, but I haven't met much AI engineers that used, for example, Amazon Bedrock before and made the move. Like, how many customers do you have that go all the way through from Sagemaker data analysis and stuff and using Amazon Bedrock with, for example, agents or do you have work with, like, customers using those tools with LLMs?
Yes, they are using. Personally, I have also used. So
can you tell me how? Like, what are the use cases? How do you use those tools?
So I created one application, using that chat AI. I created a Bedrock application there. So I created a knowledge base where I integrated with my specific data sets. And then I created a simple chatbot for my use case that exactly what kind of data is available where, some queries with respect to that. It was fraud-specific data. So yes, I created.
And it's connected to your Unified Studio.
Yeah.
Oh, with your data that
I created this within the Unified Studio.
That is so cool. Like,
yeah.
There's not that many customers that I see that use Unified Studio like all the way.
Yeah.
From all of the different services it offers.
Yeah, and another cool thing which pilot users are excited about it, that they have like queue capabilities there. They have like AI assistant all the time with them. So they can write fancy queries
Cool.
So, like, yeah, so they just need to give instruction in plain English and it gives really complex, fancy queries. So they're really excited about it that they don't need to spend time. The things which they were doing in a day or two,
Yes.
now they are able to do in 5-10 minutes. So,
Yeah, maybe I will be able to write a SQL query now.
yeah, definitely be able to. And let me know if you struggle.
Exactly. I ask you what the user like the most about the platform, but let's be honest, what they dislike the most as well. What are the main feedback or opportunities for enhancements and frictions?
So far, I have not heard
That's good.
anything like which anyone disliked about this product. But yes, they have become more ambitious, I would say.
They see
More.
they see what is possible, so they want more.
Seriously, now they are thinking beyond imagination. What if I can get this? For example, the quick site thing. So there was a wish that what if we can get the quick site built into this? And that's where we checked with the AWS service team. And they said, rest assured, it is coming soon. So these are the things. So nothing is like called dislike. But yes, in this implementation, I can mention, yes, we faced few challenges, especially...
That was my next question. What are the unexpected things, like the challenge you had during the implementation, the evaluation?
Yeah, because like we understand like no transformation happens without challenges. So we faced some challenges with respect to integration hurdles with legacy systems and like other clouds because we were trying to get data from like multi-clouds. And and more than technical challenges, I think there were organizational and cultural.
Cultural challenges.
Beyond the technical, there were organizational and cultural shifts that needed some attention. So, especially around access and permissions. And governance is not like, it's not. So, governance is not just a system setting, it's a mindset shift. And one key lesson we learned that centralizing data is not enough. And we need to bring in tools where like people work, and that's exactly this unified studio is enabling. So
sometimes when I talk with customers, they say they have to change the organization a bit to adapt to the tools. Is it something you observe as well?
Yeah, when the thought process is like when we propose that okay, we are going to create this marketplace. So the governance teams, the security teams, they were pretty scared.
Is it?
Oh my God, no! How you can expose all the data? Because so still there is a challenge which like we want to get addressed in near future from AWS. That still we are not able to classify if some data is like PII classified, if it is secure in nature. So that data classification still we are not able to do that. So if we get that capability as well into this unified studio, I think it will add an immense value to the businesses, especially for the fintechs, because they are is it like data classification. They are fussy about it. It is very important and regulatory thing for them.
Yeah, it's a regulated industry, so you have very strict rules to follow.
Yeah, so currently entire data is available if we have access, though like there are ways to handle that as well, because the cool feature is that if you are giving access to someone, so it's not like that you always need to give full access. We can do like fine-grained access. So we can hide those things using that feature. But I think if we get some ways that it can flag that this is the PII data or like this is a secretly classified data, so it cannot be, so like it has like further controlled access mechanism there. So I think that would be great.
I'd like to go back a second on the technical challenge. You mentioned the multi-cloud, and I'm a bit curious about the challenge. One of the challenge I know in multi-cloud is bandwidth and the cost of bandwidth. But can you be more specific about the tech aspect of that multi-cloud data access?
Yeah, so like we were trying to access the data which was sitting in Google Cloud. So we were trying to query Google Cloud and Snowflake as well, which was hosted on Google environment. So we were trying to federate that data. So So the thing is like, so it supports like external. So this catalog was not really native to the SageMaker catalog. It was like kept as a like separate federated catalog. And when we were trying to query between the data assets from the native and the federated catalogs, it was giving challenges. It was not like there were some permission issues. So we reported it to the service team, and they took it as an enhancement. So they took it as a service request, and they are working on it. So
They are working.
they are working on it, and they have committed that it should be available. It should be sorted very soon, actually. So in this journey, like we faced a couple of challenges because this product itself wasn't GA, and so when AWS team they were enhancing, they were implementing new features. Few things were breaking behind the scenes, and whatever we proved, let's say last week. Now when we are checking, okay, this thing is not working.
Not working anymore.
Yeah, and especially we face challenges with lake formation and lake formation hybrid. So, and that's where we realized that, okay, these queries, these data sets are not accessible across the catalogs. So I think that was the main key challenge which we faced, and it took quite some time to get resolved. And like even before GA, like AWS team helped us. They provided a script to really sort this out before they went GA onto this one.
It's always the real challenge of being the first to use a tool is that you get to break it, and you get also to test it when it's evolving very, very quickly. So it's actually really nice that the service team has been listening to your feedback and actually implementing
They're not only listening, like they are very supportive. They are listening, they are supporting, because in my organization, the senior management, they were pretty ambitious that we need to go live in Q1. And we are one of the early adopters of this one.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think, and this team always appreciates that, okay, we are getting to know. So you are becoming as a pilot tester for us.
You get to influence the product too.
Exactly.
Which is really interesting because sometimes people get to think that such a big company would not listen.
Seriously.
But they actually do listen. And if you're an early customer and you're a big customer and you have, big ambitions, then you actually get to drive the tool and how it's designed. It's really cool that you actually have an impact.
That how enterprises should be using means exactly what their day-to-day problems can be and how we can make sure in terms of resilience, in terms of timing to get access, and also all these matters, especially for enterprises, I would say, because we deal with high volume and a lot of controlled infrastructure and rigid governance and all.
Yeah.
So you managed to be live in March in your project timeline?
April, right?
No, April. So
April.
Yeah, late March, this product gone GA. So we cannot go live until the product is GA. So that is that doesn't fit in the governance. So yes, as I mentioned that we faced couple of issues which were working earlier, and then they were not working when this product gone GA. So all those fixing and everything. So we ultimately went live on 30th April precisely.
So now you have a few weeks of experience being live with your new solution. What are the aspects that you're looking at for the future? What are the things you would like to improve? You mentioned one already. Your user wants integration with QuickSight, but that will come from the product side, not from your side. But what are the things you're thinking ahead?
From the AWS roadmap standpoint, QuickSight and then the data classification thing, which I mentioned. So I think these are the two things personally I'm keen about. And otherwise, in terms of our usage, so means currently we don't have a lot of consumers onboarded. So our goal is that we will scale this product consumption across more teams. And we'll expand the SageMaker for GenAI applications mainly, because currently very low volume is there. So we want to scale on the usage and the GenAI application creation. So that
to have more data sets available through that platform.
Yeah. So currently the consumers they are just creating their applications. They are just creating their data products. those consumers have not become the publisher yet, right? So we are looking for that thing that, okay, these consumers become publisher, and so other teams are like creating. So we want to create those reusable data assets and reusable models.
How do you encourage a team to become a publisher? What's the incentive for a team to publish their data set?
That's a good question. Maybe that is above my pay grade, I would say.
The reason why I'm asking that question is that Amazon.com, not AWS, went through the same challenge as yours to break the silo and to create an internal data platform like a marketplace where a team can consume. And for the team to consume data, the incentive is directly there. Is I have access to that data set and that data set, so I can create that and that. But it was much more difficult from a cultural point of view to incentivize the team to publish their data. So they have to find like a way to like a carrot and a stick to push the team to publish. And I wonder if you already think about this type of...
I think it's a good food for thought.
Okay, that's okay. I was just asking the question.
Yeah.
That it's...
And one more thing I recall in terms of like enhancements or what we want to see, or maybe the challenge. It's not the immediate challenge, but when we see the data lineage in SageMaker Unified Studio, it gives us a very beautiful graphical lineage, whatever is there into the AWS ecosystem. But let's say some data is coming from my on-prem database, or some data set is coming from like third-party catalogs. So we are not able to see lineage of that part. So we are able to see lineage from the moment it came into the AWS environment. But before that, what all transformation it has gone through, so that lineage information is still not captured here. So maybe that is another thing which we have already requested to the service team. But yeah, let's see by when it can be made available.
For the future roadmap.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating story to go from a data lake to Amazon SageMaker Unified Studio and being one of the first to adopt this new service that has just been launched GA a few months ago. It was mid-March this year, 2025. Deepali, thank you very much for your very clear explanation and for sharing the story with the listeners of this podcast. Tiffany, thank you.
Thanks.
See you next week in all your good podcast applications for another episode. But now, go build.